Hello and a warm welcome to Goal Line Gossip. It's been a while that I've hosted this show. We have Saul here repping Manchester United, myself repping Arsenal, and we have the Kloppite here repping Liverpool. However, we are going to be starting off with none of our teams. We're going to be talking about Chelsea and Manchester City. That was the highlight game of the game week, and what a game it was. I would probably say it was one of the best Premier League games ever. Had its controversies with VAR as well. They've been pretty rife this season, but we're going to dissect this game and see what's going on. So yeah, let's get started with talking about Manchester City and Chelsea getting into a stalemate for like 4-4. I don't think you call a 4-4 a stalemate, but it was a draw. Happy for myself and the Kloppite, I'm assuming. It was definitely an 8-goal thriller, and I want to ask a few questions to start off with the Kloppite. I know you watched the whole game, and you were pretty fanatic about a lot of decisions and how the game was going about. I want you to tell me, what your take was, and how do you think the season may pan out based on this result?
Yeah, so I think after Liverpool's game, I thought like City, if City falters today, then it's first versus second, or some Liverpool might have a chance next weekend, and Chelsea did deliver like with how they started. I thought, yeah. So I was watching with my friend, and he's also an Arsenal fan. And I was like, yeah, Chelsea definitely have a chance this game. They started very quick, but yeah, Cucurella being Cucurella, and he
It was
grabbed
harsh,
onto
though.
her.
It was pretty
It was
harsh.
harsh. It was harsh. I think are the only team which probably gets those sort of penalties very regularly, and
That's
none of the
luck.
other team.
That's got nothing to do with specific biases, in my
I know,
opinion.
but I'm surprised. Why is Anthony Taylor still refereeing in the Premier League? Like, wasn't he demoted to the
Yeah,
championship?
I saw a news article that he was supposed to be demoted to the championship. I'm not sure what happened there. Yeah,
Is it a 1 week thing? Like you just get punished for a week and then you're back?
it doesn't make sense. I mean, he deserves to be banished from football. Like the kind of mistake he made. Yeah.
Yeah, and there were some controversial decisions, and I thought Chelsea Chelsea were always bright, and there was so many. If Chelsea had really good, potent attackers, I think they would have got a lot more goals. Even though XG shows City were better, but I think Chelsea had the better openings every time they had a 3-on-2 or a 4-on-3 or a 2-on-1 situation, which they could not utilize because they didn't have the potent
XG can
attackers.
be extremely misleading. I learned
Mhm.
something recently, and I'll just share this with you. Before I let you continue. Let's say De Bruyne puts Haaland through, right? And he is running on goal one-on-one with the goalkeeper, but then Thiago Silva tracks back and gets a tackle in. He does not let Haaland get the shot in.
Yeah,
That does that does
that's
not go towards XG.
yeah, yeah, that's
So
what I said. So they had a lot of situations which didn't count for the XG. The Chelsea looked more threatening to me,
mhm.
and Sterling really showed up. I feel Sterling was one of the best players out there today. And for City, I guess Rodri and Kyle Walker both were very decent. But and for City, I don't feel anyone stood out as such because City already have such a good team. They don't need players to stand out even for a 4-4 draw. But Chelsea really delivered, I feel. And Gusto could have won the game at the end. I don't know what he was doing, shooting with his left foot. He's a right-footed player, just slotted in with your right foot. You had all the time in the world. And what I liked about Chelsea is like every time City got ahead, even though Chelsea were the dominant team for in like considering chances, Chelsea didn't drop their heads. Uh, They always responded back, and that too against a team like City.
Mhm.
And and yeah, of course, City have the quality. They got a few chances and they got the goals. But yeah, very impressed with Chelsea. Very impressed with Sterling. Cole Palmer, what a penalty! Like against your old club to keep your cool at the injury time. Yeah, fantastic game, like a Premier League classic, you could say. Uh, I wish the VAR doesn't intervene in such situations to make it was already an exciting game. It could have been a, a slightly better game if VAR didn't come into the picture, but otherwise it was what a cracking game of football. And good
100%.
result for Liverpool and Arsenal,
Oh
I
yeah,
would say.
100%. Probably even Spurs as well. Yeah. Even though they
And
dropped
United.
points. Yeah,
Yeah,
just want
why
to
not?
put them into the hat, right? Sure. Now, I want to take the next question to Saul here. Um,
Oh,
is it
by the way,
not?
I saw Reece James was fantastic today after coming back from injury.
Yeah, yeah. He
Uh,
got like 60
the,
minutes. Yeah, 65 minutes
yeah,
or so.
but he was really good. He got an assist for the
Yeah, he did
second
the
goal,
one.
I think.
Yeah, the one that Sterling scored. Yeah, the second one.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, the go-ahead goal. The first time the goal, Chelsea went ahead. Yeah, the only time they went
Yeah.
ahead. So,
And
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, and Thiago Silva, what a header!
Ah,
Oldest player to score in the Premier League along with Ryan Giggs.
yeah. So you just spoke about the person that I was going to ask the question about to Saul. I think this person is extremely underrated. Thiago Silva has played in Serie A, was a beast of a centre back there. He was probably the best centre back in the world for a couple of years when he was at PSG, and PSG were pretty good at that time. I remember they were competing, pretty high up with Zlatan, like banging in goals. Um, and then he came to the Premier League, albeit that Chelsea has been shambolic. He has been one source of inspiration for that team. You can't really say much about that team. And I just wanted to ask Saul, where would you truly rank Thiago Silva in the all-time greats in terms of being one of the best center backs of all time? But at least at what we have seen. Maybe not the Franco Baresi's and Beckenbauer's, but at least who we have seen growing up since the late 90s to now. Where would you place Thiago Silva?
I think he has to be like at the top, um, and I think one of the reasons why he's still a little underrated is because he plays in the Premier League and he's a foreign player. I mean, if he would have been like a British player,
English.
I mean, you will. I mean, I'm pretty sure the media would hype it up, maybe a bit more than usual, and that's how it is. But yeah, regardless of that, I think the fact that he's had such a long, successful career, and the fact that he's playing for a team like Chelsea in top flight in the Premier League and still scoring goals, and not just scoring goals, he's a pretty decent defender as well. I know he's
He's an
probably
amazing
past his
passer as
prime.
well. He's an amazing passer as well.
Yeah, and I think
He's
it's
reliable. I
absolutely.
think even at this stage, he's reliable, which is the most important thing I feel.
Yeah, I think if Chelsea, I mean, if they turn into a top six or a top four club in the future, I don't think Thiago Silva, uh, it's probably going to be a starter, regular starter, and that's just because you're going to get younger players and more versatile players, and he's past his prime, but I think he can still come on the pitch and do the odd job, like maybe score a goal or play a cameo and change the whole tune of the match. And he's that kind of a player. He's just
Defend the lead or something. Sometimes your
yeah.
team.
And I think the reason why he's able to do that is because he has a lot of experience in terms of whether it's his positioning, whether he's in you know the opponent's box or his own box. I think one thing that I've always admired about him is the decision making, whether it's creating a pass and taking the ball, filtering it out from the back to the front, or like during corners as well. When if you closely look at him, his movements during like a set piece, I think it's almost like he's elite level. He knows
Mhm.
how to make those movements at what time, and of course, like he's not what he used to be 5 years back. He's probably lost a bit of his pace, his strength, whatever, but still he can still get those balls in and score a goal, or make a pass or put in a tackle and save the day. So
Mhm.
I'm surprised that he's still there, to be honest, because when he came to Chelsea, and obviously Chelsea is not going through the best time as a club for the last 3 years. But the fact that he's been able to withstand that, he's not gone to the Saudi League, whereas people like Koulibaly, he came here, he went to the Saudi League, and he's still here. Like I think that just shows that he
The
has
mentality,
that intent.
elite mentality.
Yeah, and he wants to
The
play
appetite,
here.
the
Yeah,
appetite.
he wants to play, and Pochettino being a new coach amongst the three other coaches that they had in recent times, they all trust in Thiago Silva,
Yeah, yeah,
and that
yeah.
just shows you that he still has it and he can deliver. So, yeah, really
Nice.
happy to have him in the Chelsea team, I
Yeah,
guess.
colossal player. Now, the next thing that I wanted to touch upon is how good is Manchester City, man? Like, this is sometimes you gotta raise your hand and be like, we are looking at probably one of the best teams ever. It's not just because they won the treble or whatnot, but even if on their worst day, they're always going to be in and around. Like, just have a look. Their defense was really poor today. They were getting cut open by Chelsea so many times, but they find a way. They're constantly attacking. They have so many match winners in that team. It's unbelievable. Now they've added Jeremy Doku to the mix as well. He looks like a menace to me. You have Phil Foden, you got Erling Haaland, you got Bernardo Silva, you got Rodri, a huge match winner. You got um, in the defense, you got Kyle Walker, you got players like Akanji, John Stones, Nathan Ake, Guardiol. The list goes on. That entire team is filled with world class talent, and I don't see how they don't win the league this year because I'm sure Arsenal's going to dip somewhere along the line. Liverpool might have some key injuries they haven't had yet. Just FYI, they've had some few injuries here and there, but not to like the major players in the first 11. Um, and Tottenham, obviously, experiencing injuries, and we can see what the result is looking like. I don't see any of these other teams lasting the marathon here, right? And Manchester City looks so equipped. They're missing, Kevin De Bruyne. What's going to happen when he comes back? They're going to smash teams to smithereens, right? What do you think about this? I'll first pose this question to Kloppite. Um, are we truly looking at probably the best Premier League team ever in Manchester City? And if that is the case or not the case, what do you think the outcome is going to be like for Manchester City this season?
Uh, I think this is not the best Manchester City team we have seen. I think
Oh
last year was the best one
no,
we've
well,
seen,
it's
and
but
the century.
maybe you got my question wrong. Obviously, a couple of players here and there have changed. I get it, Gundogan,
Yeah,
Jesus.
but I am seeing a little bit difference this season. They are conceding a lot more goals. I think they have conceded more goals than Liverpool and Arsenal this season.
They have,
And
yes.
there they can be opened up. And this I was gonna add just when I was doing the review for City and Chelsea. Like Chelsea pressed them really high, and I think a lot of teams are scared to press City high
Hmm.
because City can press themselves and turn over the ball. The Chelsea, I saw Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo really pressing high, and they did reap the benefits if they, like I said, if they had a more potent attacking force, they would have scored and probably they would have won the game easily.
Hmm.
And I think you need to take the game to City. That's what you got to do this season. I feel City are still, some games they are still riding some bit of the luck. Like this Rodri goal just came out of nowhere. Like it's a
Hmm.
purely deflected goal. And I feel City are not
No,
like
you gotta
the
you gotta give it the credit. It
fort.
doesn't matter whether it was deflected or
Yeah,
not. He
yeah,
takes
yeah, yeah.
he takes whenever the team is down and out, he does take those
Yeah,
shots.
he is the best CDM. No doubt about it. He's the best CDM in the world. But I'm saying like City is not the fortress or the rock they were before. I think they can falter. It just depends on how Liverpool and Arsenal can push them. I don't know if they have it in them. I feel Liverpool can take a step up if they get a CDM in, and because I'm seeing Liverpool this season, even though we drop points versus Luton and yeah, disappointing point drop draw against Luton. But I'm seeing Van Dijk back to his best. Van Dijk was immense today, and I don't want to. We'll come to Liverpool anyway, but I think Liverpool just have one or two players missing, and that's it. And they can really take the game to City this season.
Hmm.
And for Arsenal, also, I don't know. I think for me, Arsenal is about the manager. I don't think it's about the players. I think the manager can is not equipped or experienced enough to continue in a marathon. He can play a brilliant football and looks very flashy and nice, and They play really well, but are they good enough to carry carry their way into the marathon? And that I'm not sure of. But I know that Klopp can do it. But I don't know if Liverpool just need a CDM. I feel that's a very weak spot in their team. But City are very good because they have, like you said, they have match winners. Like even if seven players are playing bad, four players will still dig them out. And it's looking a little weak compared to last season because last season you had Riyad Mahrez, Gundogan, and a
Hmm.
lot of experienced players, like more match winners
Agreed.
compared to this.
I'm not denying it. And
So
uh, I mean, you do have a point, and if anything, Liverpool. I would probably personally also say that Liverpool has a better chance of pushing them because they have done it before, right? So, and I'm just concerned that Liverpool's depth, like if let's say Salah gets injured he goes away for the Afcon,
he
right?
doesn't get injured. That's the thing.
I know,
Yeah, yeah, maybe
I
he.
get it, but there are some key. You just don't have, the depth that I would, say City
But
has.
it's like been always been the same. Like don't have replacements for Van Dijk and Salah.
Hmm.
So, but
Anything happens to
we
them,
expect them to be fit. But other players, I think, can be replaced.
well, I'm not disagreeing. However, yeah, I think City has a very good chance of doing the first quadruple. Well, not yeah,
No, they're out of it. They're out of it,
not
right?
not the, not the quadruple. I meant four-peat. Yeah, that's what I meant. They have a very, very, very high chance of doing the four-peat
Yeah,
for
of
the
course.
first time, and we'll see. And I think personally, just to end this segment here, Chelsea is probably going to be a team this season just because they've improved a lot, over the past 3, 4, 5 games. They're going to be a team that's going to have a say on the title race, not
Yeah,
directly,
yeah.
but they're gonna take off a lot of points of.
What Chelsea have is a very good midfield, and midfield wins you games. And
Mhm.
I was just gonna add, Conor Gallagher was superb.
Oh
I
yes, he
mean,
looked really good. Yeah,
yeah,
and then
he had
last
so
game
much control.
Kovacic looked really good too. The previous game, not this one. The one
Yeah,
against.
and if one midfielder is playing that good against City's midfield, you really gotta say he had a very good game. And
100%.
Kovac, and sorry, not Kovac, Gallagher controlled the game a lot, even when he was playing more attack in a
He's
more
been really
attacking
good.
position. Whenever
He's
when
been
he did,
really, really good for sure. I think he's gonna get a start in the England setup with Madison injured. Just my feeling. I don't see Henderson
yeah,
starting or anything
yeah,
else. So.
he should like he's been tremendous, and this is a player which Chelsea had planned to sell a few months back.
I feel really bad for Reece James just because he was taken off, and then within 5 minutes, Malo Gusto gets a chance. Right? If
Yeah,
it's Reece
and if that
James,
was Reece James, yeah, he
he
finishes that
buries it.
off.
He buries it for sure. Okay, we're gonna wrap up the segment here. We're gonna move on to the next one here, and we're talking.
Thank you for watching that video. We are a community of passionate football fans and we post weekly videos on transfer news, match reactions, tactical analysis, and sometimes just gossip on the most exciting sport in the world. If that's what you like to hear, then hit that subscribe button and join the conversation with us.